What is up, guys? This is Monster Tech here, back with another video. And today's video is 10 reasons why you should buy an iPad Pro over the MacBooks or MacBook Pro or MacBook Air. So we're going to start off with number 1, which is portability. So the iPad Pros are much more portable. You can just pick them up and put them in your bag. It fits in your bag much better than like a MacBook or MacBook Pro, especially the 15-inch versus like the 10.5-inch or 11-inch. So that's portability, and it's also much lighter. So the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, the big one, is 1.4 pounds versus the 13-inch MacBook Pro, the smaller of the MacBook Pros, it is 3 pounds. And it's even more of a difference when you compare it with the 15-inch MacBook Pro, which is 4 pounds. So that's portability, number 1. Number 2 is the keyboard. So some people might not like the new MacBook Air, and MacBook Pro's keyboard, which is the butterfly mechanism. So with the iPad Pros, you don't have an included keyboard. So you can connect and detach whichever keyboard feels the best for you. So if you like Logitech keyboard, you can just connect a Logitech keyboard. If you like the butterfly, just buy the Apple keyboard case. You aren't locked into a butterfly keyboard with the iPad Pros. So that's number 2. Number 3 would be screen resolutions. So the iPads have a higher pixel per inch count. This might not be that drastic, but it's 264 pixels per inch versus like 210 or something on the MacBooks. So the 15-inch MacBook Pro has a 2880 by 1800 display panel resolution versus the larger iPad Pro, which is 12.9 inches, which is 2732 by 2048. So there's more pixels in a smaller panel. So that's another reason why you should buy an iPad Pro. Number 4 is the touchscreen. So MacBooks and MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs, any of the Macs, none of them have a touchscreen. People might not like that, so if you want a touchscreen, the iPad's the way to go. Number 5 is Apple Pencil support. So with the MacBook Pros, as well as not having touch sensitive, it does not have Apple Pencil support. But the iPad Pro does not have a mouse and trackpad support. But the Apple Pencil is basically kind of like a little detour, I guess. It works basically the same, except it's kind of a drawing instrument, but it gives you precise tracking on the screen, so you can click anything on it. So that's number 5. Number 6 is the cameras. So while most MacBooks and MacBook Airs have a 720p camera, 720p FaceTime camera, on the top it's just one, the iPad and the iPad Pro have 2 cameras. The front-facing camera on the iPad Pro, the new ones, is a 7 megapixel camera versus a 0.7 megapixel camera on the MacBooks, on the MacBook Air or MacBook Pros, and the back camera is a 12 megapixel camera, and there is no back camera on the MacBook and MacBook Pro. That's number 6. Number 7, 4 speakers. The iPad Pro has 4 speakers, 1 on each corner, and the MacBooks only have 2 speakers, 1 on each side of the keyboard. That's number 7. Number 8 is price. Now, while this has been getting slimmer, the margin has been getting slimmer since they introduced the iPad Pro. The iPad Pro is still cheaper if you get it in certain configurations and compare it with other if you compare it with MacBook configurations, it still might be cheaper than a MacBook. So that's number 8. Number 9 is LTE. MacBook Pro and all the Macs, none of them have LTE on it. But the iPad Pro, you can get it with LTE, and not only is it regular LTE, it is also gigabit LTE. So it's the same LTE that you can find in iPhone XS and iPhone XS Max. Same LTE speeds, but it's in a bigger form. Number 9. Now number 10 is fanless design. So all of the iPad Pros are fanless. There's no fan in them, and they're still very powerful. But with the MacBooks, the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air have a fan in it. The 12-inch MacBook does not have a fan in it, but it's really slow. But with the iPad Pro, there's no fans in it, and it's super fast. 8 cores in a fanless design. So that is 10 reasons why you should buy an iPad Pro over a MacBook. So this is a Monster Tech video. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you in the next one.